if suppose Tata wish to buy particular company, okay, say they want to buy Infosys, so they will
Yes.
come to you and say, okay, give me the valuation of entire Infosys. So you'll look at the entire balance sheet, you do the valuation, you'll create a report, correct?
Yeah. Correct, Ganesh. So there are two kinds of projects we generally work on. One is
Because a lot of our audience is going to be somebody who is in the first or second year of job, or they are preparing for FRM, CFA, all of these. So
yeah,
your
right.
role is basically for very layman, in layman term, is somebody who is looking at the company.
The most important thing is to understand the company and understand the industry in which company falls.
One question which a lot of CFA students have in their mind is that if I want to become a valuation analyst or I want to grow in that space, what are the key skill sets that I need? Hello, guys. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. Today we are back with a finance podcast where we're going to be meeting with our guest today, which is Siddharth Jain. He's a seasoned finance expert and with over 11 years of experience into the industry. And he's also an author. He has written a book which is named as Business Valuation, a Handy Guide. And today he's going to be talking about his experience and journey in the finance world and what has he's learned and how his learning has helped him to grow in the career. So thank you very much, Siddharth. Thank you very much for joining in.
Yeah, thank you, Ganesh, for a warm introduction, and thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, so Siddharth, for the benefit of the audience, just at the start, can you give us a brief about your career trajectory from where
Yeah.
you started, what was your role, and now what exactly today you're doing?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I born and brought up in Ahmedabad. I did my schooling, graduations, and master in finance in Gujarat itself. Then I
Mm-hmm.
worked at S&P Global, which is a
Okay.
US based consulting and investment advisory firm.
Okay.
So I worked in Ahmedabad itself. So they have a office over there. So worked around there 6.5 years over there. And
Okay.
during my 6.5 year tenure at S&P,
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a US GAAP, IFRS, and
Okay.
they have their in-house ERP system. So we generally look at so I basically the part of the US banking and NBFC team. So
Okay.
we were catering around 1,200 to 1,300 banks and NBFCs within the US and Canada region. So
Okay.
we analyze their earnings, we analyze their annual reports. In US, the annual reports, those who are filing public company, they term is as a 10Q and 10K, the 10Q
Right.
quarterly and 10K annually. So we generally look at those, their important statements, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, ratio analysis, and after. So initially when I joined, I worked a couple of years as a entry level. Like I worked, then someone reviews my work, then I promoted to a senior level. So I reviews the work and deal with the client questions also if required.
Okay.
So and they publish the data. So if you know, like S&P CAPIQ's data generally used by many
Right.
valuation and consulting firm, including Big Four
Yes.
and RKL. Like I earlier worked at EY also. From last
Mm-hmm.
3 years, I associated with RKL. So I generally use the data. So earlier, what I was preparing the
Right.
data set for the client. Now I am the client and I am
Okay.
using those data set. So that's a good thing, and
Okay.
it's give me advantage. Like in my company, if someone want to do some screening or something, they want to find some comparative analysis, benchmarking. Those to be done to the CAPIQ database. So they generally reach out to me because I know the database very well because earlier I work on to build that. So I have some
Okay.
that advantage. So this is something linking to my previous experience to current experience.
Perfect.
And while I was in S&P, I completed my CFA level 1, and
Okay.
then I moved to a couple of organization into project finance role
Mm-hmm.
in Gujarat itself. Earlier, I worked at Din Dayal Port, which is a Kandla port earlier, as a finance manager. So Kandla Port was our client, and I was working as to work on the financial models and guiding to Din Dayal Port on various project issues, maybe the distress projects or
Okay.
arbitration things. So we were helping clients over there. Then I moved to Deep Industries Limited, which is in Ahmedabad, which is a oil and gas refinery firm, and
Mm-hmm.
they have one project in North Kanakpur, Ranchi. coal
Okay.
bed methane project. So, and there uh, Deep Industries has one arm, PEPL. So
Okay.
they, in consortium with IOCL and ONGC, these two
Mhm.
government bodies,
Okay.
they initiated this project. So my work is like, PEPL was the operating entity, like they are handling
Okay.
the entire operations of the project. So to build a financial model to see the project viability, NPV, IRR, and
Okay.
uh, to give the reports time to time, like what's the process of the work.
Got
Uh,
it. Got it.
and while I was in earlier role with Deen Dayal, so I completed my CFA level 2 also.
Right.
And in October 2020, I joined my current firm, which is RKL LLP. So I
Mhm.
basically I moved to core valuation role
Okay.
over here, and I believe CFA education helped me a lot to get this opportunity, because they were keenly looking someone who has the knowledge of how to deal with the different valuation method,
Right.
especially the discounted cash flow, how
Mhm.
to build the discount rates. So CFA education level 2 generally covers this part a lot. So, and level 1
Okay.
also, because I already worked in US GAAP IFRS through my previous experience. And if you know, like CFA level 1 also, and level 2 and entire CFA curriculum, they mainly, it's a global uh,
Right.
recognition. So
It,
they
it
generally
helps. It
focus
helps
on,
you.
it helps me. Yeah, it generally focus on US GAAP IFRS. What's the different?
Mhm.
Though they were hiring someone from the Indian continent, but yeah, they are pretty much confident. Like I can able to handle the work.
Okay.
So I joined this team in October 2020, and as a valuation professional, and I completed my uh, CFA level 3, and I ultimately got my charter. Via
Okay.
I was in current organization only. So in my current role, I mainly work on target company valuation, like merger and
Okay.
acquisition. So acquiring company is our client, so they give us the project to do the target company valuation. Basically, the purchase price allocation, like how,
Right.
what's the fair value of tangible assets, what's the fair value of intangible assets, how to value different intangibles like trade names, customer relationships, technology, goodwill, and apart
Got it.
from that, yeah. Apart from that, I
So,
also work on, yeah. Please go.
so Siddharth, just to for the benefit of the audience, because a lot of our audience is going to be somebody who is in the first or second year of job, or
Hmm.
they are preparing for FRM, CFA, all of these. So
Yeah.
your role is basically for very layman in layman term, is somebody who is looking at the company, doing
Hmm.
the valuation of different assets of the company, so that if suppose Tata wish to buy a particular company, okay, say they
Hmm.
want to buy Infosys, so they will
Yes.
come to you and say, okay, give me the valuation of entire Infosys. So you'll look at the entire balance sheet, you'll do the valuation, you'll create a report, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, correct, Ganesh. So there are two kinds of projects we generally work on. One is
Mhm.
after the merger and acquisition, like a deal already done, but
Okay.
as per the accounting standard, as per the, it's mandatory for the
Mhm.
companies to do the purchase price allocation within a year of the acquisition. So they reach
Okay.
out to us to do the purchase price allocation. Another projects which you talk about, like many times companies want to do the due diligence, like whether this company is a good fit to buy or not,
Right.
whether we want to align as a strategic buyer investor, whether it can be aligned to us with our operation. So we also do that. That's one
Mhm.
transaction advisory team
Mhm.
within the consulting in the RKL. So
Okay.
I also work at my available capacity. So they do this buy side, sell side projects. They prepare the data book, they prepare the due diligence report, and
Okay.
give their opinion. Like yeah, these are their balance sheet, these are their income statement, these are the adjustment we believe we need to give. Like sometimes these are the private companies, so sometimes they may
Got
charge
it.
higher to their employee salary or their shareholder salary, rent tax, and some adjustment required, then we do. But yeah, that's
So
also one of the projects I work on. So basically I work on
so
target
this
company valuation.
before,
Yeah.
yeah, so before merger also you get involved in terms of due diligence, and
Hmm.
after merger also, if there's an accounting requirement where you have to do the
Yeah.
valuation of all the asset and do allocation according to it. So that is
Yeah.
the broader role that you are into. Now,
Yeah.
if you can give for the benefit of the audience any three four principles that
Hmm.
you look at when you do valuation, broadly three four in a very simple language, three four
Yeah.
principles which you used on a day to day basis in the valuation space.
Yeah. So basically, first thing, the most important thing is to understand the company and understand the industry in which company falls.
Okay.
Because in the valuation, many times we do forecast of the company
Hmm.
for different valuation methods, especially the discounted cash flow method. So in that, we need to understand the company is very essential, like how
Hmm.
company performs so far, in which industry it falls in, and what are the industry growth, then economic things we look at.
Okay.
Another thing, we need to look at the risk factor, like what are
Hmm.
the potential risks a company might face. So accordingly, like cash flows and risk, these are the two main parameters we generally look at to assign the values.
Okay.
What are their related comparables, listed comparables also we look at that
Hmm.
to assign some values. So I think
Okay.
according to me, three four principles would be: understand the company and industry first, understand the company's historical financials and what are the
Right.
projections second, and what are the risk factors company might face. So accordingly we can assign the value. We can also have the talk with management later on once we come up with some value. So these are a couple of things we look at.
Okay, wonderful. So, Siddharth, you have already also you're a CFA charter holder and you have also done FMVA certification. So,
Yep.
if you can give us some highlight, first of all, why did you went to do that certification, and how both of them, CFA and FMVA, has helped you in your career?
Yeah, it's a good question, Ganesh. I think for the someone audience point of view, some are listening might be the CFA aspirants and wanted to build their career in valuation in investment banking.
Right.
So I think these insights help them. So yeah, so coming to your questions, like while I think due to the COVID, my level three exam again and again get was getting postponed. So it took
Hmm.
me 1.5 year to appear for my level 3 exam. Initially, actually, I have to appear in June 2020, but
Hmm.
finally I could able to do it in November 21. So initially, in between, I had time. So I think
Okay.
through LinkedIn or through another source, I think mail source, I came to know these FMBA codes, and
Okay.
that interested me. It I found it more relatable to my work, and
Okay.
that's provided by CFI Canada, and they also provide the designation. First of all, they are not providing certifications. So that interested me. I can put the FMB after my name, like I'm putting a CFA also.
CFA. Yes.
Yeah, and these codes basically designed someone who want to build career in valuations and investment banking. It cover how to build a financial model, how to do business valuation. So they have some different modules,
Hmm.
and couple of them I was already doing, but to enhance my knowledge, to enhance my understanding, I pursued these codes, and
Okay.
I I think I made a good decision. A lot of things which I learned, lot of things which I input in my day-to-day job. I think
Hmm.
that, and it's also resonate someone something with the CFA also. If you look at CFA level two curriculum and
Right.
FMBA, you I think 60-70%. It not 60. I think 50-60% is of almost same level two level three, because they cover the valuations, different valuation methods, merger acquisitions, and different aspect fixed income equities. So most of the thing is covered in CFA level 2,
Right.
but yeah, to like upskill myself, I pursued these course, and that
Okay.
helping me out in my current role
Current role.
also, because yeah, and even I'm into teaching also. I teach financial modeling, valuations, and
Okay.
investment banking course in my free time on weekends. Even
Right.
recently I visited Regional Institute of Management, which is the first management college in Bhubaneswar, Odisha.
Oh,
So
okay.
they invited me for the offline session for their MBA second grade students. So
Okay.
this knowledge and this learning helped me out to deliver uh, very well, to impart them good knowledge about the valuations.
Got it. And you have also written a book, right? So first of all, what prompted you? What motivated you to write the book? And what is the key learnings that you learned while writing the book, basically?
Yeah. So initially, that to writing a book, that idea came to me while I was preparing for level three, and
Okay.
my level three exam got postponed in between. COVID hit, so we got some good time to think on ourselves, like what we want to do, and as a CFA candidate, many
Hmm.
people reach out to me on LinkedIn or through other sources, like they want to pursue CFA, they want to build a career, they want to prepare financial model, they want
Right.
to be a valuation professional,
Mm-hmm.
then what are the steps, and how to approach, and what are the good materials available in the market to go through.
Okay.
So I found like there is some gap, or like many people, like graduates, masters, CA, CFAs, they want to build a career in
Mm-hmm.
valuations and investment banking, but they lack some skills and knowledge, and they were looking for some easy resource to go through to get some
Okay.
understanding. So that prompted me, and I tried to like I tried to just put in words in simple layman language. So that was the
Okay.
basic idea that prompted me, and I self-published that book through the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing platform. And yeah, it was, I think, the first attempt from myself, but yeah, I received good response from the readers
Right.
so far. From India as well as from overseas, that received good response. Even my client, they appreciated my work in the US, though they are
Right.
more experienced than me. But yeah, they thought like, yeah, I justified with my work, so that's a good thing.
No, it's really first of all, it's inspiring, and
Yeah,
also it you can have that as a projection of a
yeah,
good brand. That means you as a brand, because it
yeah,
helps you to project yourself as a valuation expert also.
yeah,
So I'll take you towards the next question which I have. So you are also currently associated with CFA India Society, and
yeah,
you are a part of the committee.
hmm,
So one of the committee of the CFA India Society. So first of
yeah,
all, what initiatives they are taking?
yeah,
Because what I have seen is that students who are doing CFA, they they join the course, they start the preparation, they complete, but then they are not very active in
yeah,
what society is doing, because they are contributing huge towards the awareness, then
yeah,
learning and employment also. So can you shed some light on what they are doing and
yeah.
how you are also part of that initiative?
Yeah, yeah, Ganesh, definitely. So first of all, I joined CFA Society India. So I have membership both CFA Institute, because we have to do mandatory to put a
Mhm.
CFA after now. So we need to renew it regularly.
Right.
And after that, that's one. You can also be part of any society in the world.
Mhm.
So being in India, I am a part. I chose CFA Society India. So I joined as a volunteer. Initially, I got the charter. So in early 2022, I guess I joined. So I joined. So
Mhm.
they have some different committees, CFA Society India. Like one is Public Awareness Committee, which I am part of,
Okay.
and another one is Professional Learning Committee. Then candidate and that committee, and
Mhm.
some event also they organize. I think you probably know,
Right. Yes,
for
yes.
the investor and student awareness. They do some events, some webinars, some conferences, summits also.
Right.
So, and while I was preparing for CFA, like I was a
Mhm.
part of level 2 I was preparing. Then I was going through some of the webinars, some of the conferences, international
Right.
conferences also virtually. Then that excites me. Like I thought, like one day I would be want to contribute. I want to learn from this industry expert. So there are two things actually that prompted me. One is I wanted to contribute, uh, like giving back to the society, like what I learned, what I gained. I think I can also share some of my insight. I can help in whatever ways possible from my side. And
Okay.
another thing is to create the network to meet the industry expert, because when you're part of such a big and that with a lot of great leaders organization, you get a chance to meet some industry leaders, some experts, some great investment professionals through various events, webinar, conferences.
Right.
So that's the thing. So I am part of a
Okay.
public awareness committee. So in that, as a volunteer, we look at all social media handles, including LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
Mhm.
to post something about like what the recent trend, and if we are coming up with any webinar, with any conference, with any new updates. So and YouTube also, the YouTube also we have good number of followers. So we look at the social media handles to create awareness and to post and updates about what's the
Mhm.
recent things. And I think from last couple of months I am also part of the podcast project. So in that, we volunteers, uh, we issue the we release the podcast on different themes, We have different themes like AI in finance
Right.
and real estate sector in India or
Mm-hmm.
globally, then IT sector related things. So some of the themes we identified, and we released the podcast in the during some interval of time. And
Okay. Okay.
I took AI in finance as a lead, and recently we did one podcast. Our first podcast was Nitin Kamath of
Okay.
Zerodha. So that was a good hit. I think received good reviews and good views from the audience. So, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So, Siddharth, one question which a lot of CFA students have in their mind is that if I want to become a valuation analyst or I want to grow in that space, what are the key skill sets that I need?
Yeah. So one of the key skills, I believe, you should be good with the numbers. You should good with some of the tools like Excel and advanced
Mhm.
Excel. I would believe because day in day out you have to work with the uh, Excel, and I believe like you should be good with the entire MS Office package. Like you should be good at the Excel, Word, and PowerPoint because Excel you need to do for the financial modeling, valuation, and
Mhm.
Word and PowerPoint for the report preparation. So that I believe.
Okay.
Another thing, being a CFA candidate or someone, I think so. Those who want to build a career in valuations and investment banking, I would recommend like CFA or FRM. I would believe because FRM also on the risk guide. So
Mhm.
many times in the valuation, risk mitigation or risk adjustment or risk identification is also important. So I believe
Okay.
FRM is also uh, one of the good codes which can help out the candidates.
Mhm.
So these two codes I suggest like people, those who are seeking to build a career in valuation and investment banking, they should pursue, they should look at
Okay.
because that will help out to them. I think I believe like CFA helped me a lot. This designation, these three letters is the key ingredients to put me in the place where I am right now.
Okay.
Like what the career uh, life I wanted, which I am in, or what the extra thing I wanted to like in the teaching side or in the writing
Okay.
side. So that helped me a lot. So I would suggest like go for the education like CFA or FRM to build a good career in the
And
valuations.
any specific tools like Excel is the backbone, right? When you do
Yeah,
analysis. But
yeah.
apart from Excel, any specific tool that the industry is using?
I think apart from these MS Office tools like Excel and that, they are using some of the databases like for the industry research, for the
Okay.
company research like Cap IQ. They are using Dubs and Phelps crawl and Bloomberg and
Okay.
this Thomson Reuters. So there, I think these are the uh, paid databases. But if someone who want to
Mhm.
learn, they can also learn from some free databases. Also, like they can get hands on Ticker by Phenology or maybe Screeners or
Right.
some other tool like Finchat.ai. I would believe there are some AI tools which can help the candidates to learn how to get the annual reports, how to get the numbers, how to do the analysis of any company. So I would
Mhm.
suggest students or those who want to build a career in valuations and investment banking, they should look at the uh, how to be ahead with others while having the knowledge of some of the tools like which can help to do some research work, help to do
Right.
some background work, help to do some initial company analysis and industry analysis work. So I think that will help.
Because what happens is that a lot of students there right now they are doing equity research or they are doing
Yeah.
some basic valuation on their own and they are putting a PDF on LinkedIn. Okay,
Hmm.
so the question was pertaining to them. That means how they can also learn that what are the tools that are being used in the industry right now,
Yeah.
right? and
Yeah.
and the new changes that are bringing that are there in the industry right now, the new trend that is coming in, like especially AI related trends, or for example any new market news that is coming in finance and valuation. So how you keep yourself up to date with those knowledge?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, to keep ourselves updated is a very essential thing. So, I
Mhm.
think one of the reason I'm a part of CFA Society India as a volunteer to get new updates and new knowledge through the society itself, and that is one of the thing. Another thing, I listened some of the materials or some of the articles which are related to my field, like there is some are there on YouTube, some are there on podcast way articles. So I in my free time, I keep a habit to go through some of the things like which I don't know related to my work,
Okay.
so that I can upskill myself. Like I can give an example. That's one M&A podcast which run by
Hmm.
the Deal Room. So in
Hmm.
there, I
Okay.
think there are hundreds of podcasts on M&A itself, like how to do M&A integration, how to get the synergies, how to get at a good price. So
Okay.
that I keep today. And I advise to aspirants also, like keep yourself in a habit, like whenever you have time, like suppose you're
Hmm.
traveling, or suppose something you can do simultaneously, like multitasking. Like suppose
Hmm.
you're working on something and you can listen to any podcast, any articles, or any of the good material available
Okay.
on the free source. I think that will help, and that helped me a lot to gain some good new updates, good insights from the industries, or from the uh, like valuable organization like CFA or other things. So I would recommend
Okay.
that.
Okay, okay, wonderful. And is there any free tool or free website where some analysis, apart from the podcast that you mentioned, some analysis of previous M&As that has happened globally? Is there any information available outside on in public domain?
Uh, I think there are like statistic. I think there's one website or
Okay.
one tool which we can use. I think I have, and that's also in both in website and application form.
Hmm.
So, and Cap IQ also, if you register for the quarterly and monthly newsletter for
Hmm.
the Cap IQ, I think they're not required subscription, I believe. So you get from there that quarterly and monthly data, like what are the recent M&A, is any deal breakdown done or what. And
Okay.
one more thing, there's uh, one thing like which is like a lot of funding and acquisition happens right now in the AI space, like in the
Okay.
AI tools. So that's one newsletter, Superhuman, if someone
Okay.
want to note down.
Superhuman.
So that
Okay.
Superhuman, so that give daily updates. They send daily mails, like what are the recent updates regarding in AI space. So these are
Okay.
the couple of things, like newsletter subscription. I did a lot of things, like whenever I find something like they someone provides newsletter, then I just keep my mail ID and I register, so I receive the daily update. So whenever I have time, I can just
Right.
go through that and learn. And
Okay.
Statistica, I think that one is there. And apart from that, I think money control and eating news. I think I keep reading that too often whenever I get a time in a day or in a week. So in that also we get a lot of things, like if something happens in the M&A space in India,
Mhm.
and at what valuation they acquired, who are the buyer, who are the seller, and what are the things that prompted to acquire
Got
any
it.
company. So yes, if someone want to just go through this free material, I think they can just check and use that.
Perfect, perfect. So, Siddharth, thank you very much for
Yeah,
all the information and all the
yeah,
ideas that you have shared with us with respect to how does the valuation actually works, what
mm,
exactly you are doing, and how any new candidate can learn from these free tools and free resources that they have talked about, and also the emphasis on the CFA curriculum and the CFA learnings that you have got through your journey. And the one interesting part is that you are also a part of the society, so you
yeah,
have seen lot of things, lot of new initiatives that they are also bringing in. So thank
yeah,
you very much, Siddharth, for taking out time and talking to us. And I am sure that this podcast will help a lot of new students who are planning to go ahead in their career after CFA or do it during their CFA journey into the valuation space. They will be able to help you. They will be able to reach you out and get some guidance also.
yeah. Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for having me here again. It's my pleasure, and yeah, happy to help if someone want to connect and reach out, and we can also think in future if you want anything like I can contribute anyway. I would happy
Sure.
to be a part of. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.